Hi, writer friends, and welcome to Right Away After Party. I'm Nick,
And I'm Kath.
and we'll welcome to our next chat with Kath and Nick. Today, we're talking about what was the topic we were talking about today, Kath?
Oh, well, it depends what you want to talk about. We have two wonderful topics. We have so many topics. That's the problem. We have so many topics.
Yeah.
We try to make up our minds and but today I think right now we're going to we're going to talk about the power of choosing the right words.
The right words,
The
yes.
right words.
All right, that's wonderful. I like that one.
That's good. You know what? You know what? Even if we don't like it, we need to tackle it because if we don't like it and it's a topic to do with writing, it probably means that we're being a little reluctant, that there's resistance.
Mm.
So,
Resistance is a good word. It's a good
re
word. It's a
yeah,
good choice.
resistance is a very good word,
Yeah.
and in writing that happens a lot. And I what rewind, Kath. So what I want what I want to say is very often we will be writing a scene and without thinking we'll choose a little phrase
Yeah.
and throw it into the writing and just keep writing. And that little phrase, if it's not a cliche, it's something that's soon going to become a
Mhm.
cliche. And we ignore the really important thing that's underneath that.
I think what you're getting at is sometimes, and I'm guilty of this sometimes, is writing a sentence that I think is a beautiful sentence, but doesn't necessarily lend itself to the character that I'm writing, or
Mhm.
lend itself to the setting that it's in, or lend itself to the context or the subtext of the environment that this beautiful sentence is just kind of languishing there. Languish, another good word. Um,
Languishing, I love it.
but like I mean for me it's a little bit, for me especially with the fantasy that I wrote, that book I wrote for the reluctant reader, so to have a very beautiful sentence was very difficult because of the language that I was using
Yeah.
very simplistic language on purpose. No 50-cent words are found in that book,
Wait,
but for good reason.
what's a 50-cent word for people like me who have no idea what that is?
Um, I'm
Does it
altruistic.
come
Altruistic would be a good word. Altruistic would be a good word.
too
Curmudgeon,
difficult? That's a 50% word, altruistic.
50 cent, 50 cent word. Like, like,
50 cent, I beg your
yeah,
pardon.
like a word that's, and I think I think they call it a 50 cent word because it costs you a little bit of time to think about what that word means if you're not like, a linguist. Like if you're
So,
not a linguist and you're not like, into language, then, altruistic wouldn't be the kind of word that you could just like, like your eye wouldn't just scan that word and keep going. Your eye would be like, huh, what does that mean?
okay, so, right. And a 50-cent word must come from some sort of a game or a TV show or
I think
something.
it's just a phrase that kind of like just found itself in popular
Okay, so I
so
love it. What you've just done is unwittingly put that into the conversation. So you talked about the 50-cent phrase, but there's a 50-cent word, but there's a whole lot more underneath that. And if
yes,
your reluctant reader doesn't understand that
yes,
little turn of phrase,
yeah. I think for the writer, I think we always talk about this a lot, and
mm.
this is something that I'm really really honing in on. This later part of my life is that I write for the reader. I don't write for my own ego. I don't write for my own peers. I don't even write for you. I write for the reader that I'm assuming will pick up my book, and
Right.
that is a teenager. I
Quite
write
right.
for teenagers,
Mm.
and how do teenagers speak, and what kind of language are they using, and what kind of words would their eye be able to ice skate over? Because that's, I like to write that way. I like to write so that you don't even have to think about the word that's coming in at you. It's almost like, it becomes like almost hypnotic reading the book, hopefully.
Right.
And I want the reader to be able to transport, especially because it's fantasy. And for that to happen, I think the language has to be at their caliber. I have to write at the caliber of the audience that I'm writing for.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. That makes absolute sense.
Now, if I was writing for adults, I could use 50 cent words all over the place. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously. But then again, you have to think about the genre, right? If
Yeah.
you're writing a beach read, you don't want to have 50 cent words all over the place. You want that book to be easy going, no work whatsoever, not challenging, just, very like kind of
Mm.
frosting, like cake frosting.
Ooh, light and airy and thick, easy to lick.
I hope this all made sense. I don't know. And I totally forgot to set my timer. So I don't even know where we are.
I'll keep you honest. I'll keep you honest here. Don't worry.
But is this kind of like where you were headed, where you were planning on heading this conversation? Because I feel
That's one
like
of
I hijacked it.
absolutely. Absolutely. It was one of the areas that kind
Yeah.
of morphed into another area, but
Mhm.
everything is important because, like you said, I can write a beautiful sentence,
Yes.
but sometimes we have to kill our little darlings.
Oh, unfortunately, yes. That's
Yes, and we can't get married to that sentence because maybe it's beautiful or it's flowery or it's evocative or it's this or it's that, but it's not serving any good purpose.
Yeah. I mean,
Ah.
a rule of thumb for that too is that maybe not kill it, but maybe like chop it down a little bit. Like I mean, maybe it doesn't have to die, but it does need to, like, you have to revive it a little bit in a different way. Like
You mean revise?
yes,
Okay.
revise.
No, two different words. Hey, two different words. Revive, we're going to bring it to life.
Well,
Revise,
we're gonna kill it and then revive it.
I see where you're going. Okay.
Because maybe that sentence particularly doesn't work, but maybe something about that sentence that you liked, or like you liked the flavor of the way it the way you wrote it, and you just choose different language. Again, language being the key
Yeah.
to hone in on your audience.
Okay.
You know,
Flavor, I'm going to write that down. Flavor, because we've got to the end of our time. But if you come back for episode 2 of the power of choosing the right words, we'll talk about flavor and see what
okay,
comes out of that mystery pie. All right,
awesome.
my darlings, see you in part 2.